Is BURCIN GENIS and my research is based on game studies, and the title goes Immersion in Virtual Reality Games and User Experience. In other words, immersive VR games and their significance in user experience. I will present it in a structure of initial concepts along with case study analysis and conclude my work with suggestions. Within a slightly limited amount of time, I will try to cover the overall context real quick. So to start with virtual reality, it is a simulated multi-dimensional environment that enables users to explore and interact with a virtual surrounding in a way that approximates reality as it is perceived through the user senses. It is created and experienced through computer hardware and software, although users might also need to wear devices. Well, today virtual reality's advantages has advanced from stunning visual displays to yielding outcomes in real-world applications. And furthermore, immersion's main benefit is no longer just a realistic experience, but more to that. Literature demonstrates that different aspects of immersion have different advantages, and complete immersion is not always required. What immersion refers in digital games? It refers to the degree which player feels deeply engaged, absorbed, and connected to the virtual world created by the game. And it is the sense of being fully involved in the gaming experience to the point where the player's awareness of the real world diminishes and they become in the game environment. In the context of virtual reality, it is the condition which user loses awareness of the fact that they are actually in an artificial world. He or she experiences the virtual world with all of their senses, and it is able to interact with the virtual environment. And of course, in contrast to the cinematic immersion here, immersive virtual environments are designed to give users to the impression that they are physically present in a computer generated environment, creating a sense of presence. Creating a sense of presence for players in a digital game holds significant importance as it enhances the overall gaming experience and contributes to the success and popularity of a game. In enhanced immersion, presence contributes to the highest sense of immersion, which leads to a more enjoyable gaming experience. In emotional engagement, player feels a sense of presence, being there feeling, and more likely to emotionally invest a game that leads to a deeper connection. Games that successfully establish presence tend to be more enjoyable for players, and with that they are more likely to spend longer periods playing a game if they experience a strong sense of being in the game feeling. If we have a look on the constituent elements of immersive games, we would say high quality graphics and realistic visuals are quite likely to enhance the immersion by making the game world more believable and visually appealing, of course. Auditory stimuli has also huge impact too, that immersive and realistic audio such as sound effects, background music, voice acting can contribute significantly to the overall gaming experience. And interactivity, the level of users' contribution and gestural dialogue with the games plays a massive role too. Having said that, the experience and get interactive with the game environment through and with virtual reality hardware. In instance, headsets, as in wearable technologies, responsive and dynamic environments, and still ongoing and will be ongoing strides on the gadgets and apparatus. So, based on the literature analysis, we have various elements on crafting and designing immersive games. First off, the ideation phase, where the strategic considerations takes place and on designing the levels and worlds. The objection here to create realistic and interactive virtual spaces. A compelling and well-developed narrative can also draw players into the game world, making them care about the characters and unfolding events. Without adopt game mechanics, also players allow players to feel more connected to the virtual world if they are crafted and well calculated to be intuitive and responsive as they can interact with it in a natural way. Whereas the challenges to achieve immersion can be um, discomfort and motion sickness in interaction, followed with technical limitations and the balance of realism and the virtual world here. As I referred earlier, immersive virtual environments are designed to give users the impression of being there in the game feeling. Due to components and suggested assessment techniques, um, the majority of user experience models for immersive virtual environments are only partially accurate. And it is seen that gathering and comparing data from proper subjective and objective approaches is the best way to assess the user experience in immersive virtual environments. As instance cases and for the sake of this very research, it is simply discussed the questionnaire method, the questionnaire approach. The example here from Sasha Dolez and Pipova KDGP is used for diagnosis of the severity of playing digital games. Um, the psychodiagnostic method is quite a suitable tool for the identification of problematic gamers and addicted gamers. And of course, just like other player experienced perceived challenge can be measured too quantitatively. Denisova, Gukelsberger, and Zandel here, they and in their work challenging digital games towards developing a measurement tool, they draw attention to these hurdles, to these challenges amongst the other researchers. Meticulous literature research that tell us that the existing questionnaires already cover the level of experience challenged and it is diversity and as how stimulating tasks were perceived. And they also probe the player's outcome, uncertainty, and related. They check suspense and player churn. These questionnaires, of course, can certainly be used to gain some insight into a player's experience of challenging games or experiencing games. However, the questions are fragmented and the questionnaires were not specifically designed to measure the whole experience as a whole of being there feeling. In other words, this approach can be considered as insufficient to assess the presence in a complete and reliable way. Considering the growth of the interest and in digital games and designing for the optimal experience, the lack of an instrument to evaluate the experience naturally poses a problem. Thus, it is believed we believe that a philosophical, phenomenological approach is necessary to learn more about the challenge or the experience itself, and it is relation to the player as a conclusion. Thank you.